Okay, let's go ahead and get going.
Okay, I'm just curious. Thank you.
I graded all the digestive study questions I got turned in by Sunday at least. And you do have the opportunity to, I think everybody got full points. Everybody did well. But in the future, you do have the opportunity to resubmit them for points if you don't get full points. But I think it'd be worth just kind of quickly going through all these answers just to wrap up the digestive system and move on to the endocrine. Which of the following are part of the alimentary canal? What about the oral cavity? Yes. What about salivary glands? Tongue? Pharynx? Yes, there we go. Which of the following are accessory digestive organs? Esophagus? Stomach? Liver? Yes. Pancreas? Yes. Mechanical breakdown is the physical breakdown of food into smaller particles. Which of the following contribute to mechanical breakdown, the preparation of a bolus in the oral cavity? What about the teeth? Yes. What about the tongue? What about saliva? It was hit or miss, whether what you guys answered about this, but I say yes. Okay, it moistens the food. It allows it to be broken down easier. It allows it to be prepared into a homogeneous mass. So saliva, I'm saying yes. And what about uvula? No. Which cranial nerve sends pain impulses? So this is sensory information from the teeth to the brain. Is that the trigeminal nerve? Cranial nerve number 5, the trigeminal nerve. So we're talking about sensory information going from the mandible area, the teeth or the maxilla area, up to the brain. How many people are dental hygiene oriented in here? Okay, put you on the spot then. I actually asked my dental hygienist this question like last year when they were numbing me up for a procedure. I was like, so what cranial nerve are you guys numbing up right now? And she got flustered. She's like, oh. So which one is it? The trigeminal nerve, cranial nerve number 5. Which cranial nerve controls movement of the tongue? Hypoglossal, number 12. What type of motor neurons travel through cranial nerves to stimulate digestive function, such as the stimulation of salivary glands? Are those sympathetic or parasympathetic neurons? Parasympathetic neurons. Remember, sympathetic neurons only come out of the spinal cord at the thoracic and lumbar region. They don't pass through. There's no sympathetic neurons in the cranial nerves. Okay, there's parasympathetic neurons because parasympathetic neurons come out of the brainstem and the sacral. They call that the cranial sacral division, but sympathetic neurons do not. Which cranial nerve travels to the abdomen to stimulate digestive activities of the stomach, pancreas, and intestine? The vagus nerve, the only cranial nerve to go past the head and the neck structures. And we'll talk about the vagus nerve as we go throughout some of these other organ systems. What layer of the alimentary canal allows for propulsion in the esophagus? Muscularis externa. What is the stimulus? So peristalsis is the specific type of movement that moves that food down through the esophagus and all through the alimentary canal. What's the stimulus for peristalsis in the esophagus? What's the stimulus for that? Stretch of the esophagus. Good. What's the name of the nervous system that exists exclusively within the walls of the digestive tract and regulates many of its activities? Enteric nervous system. Which of the following digestive activities occur in the stomach? Does propulsion? Yes. Does mechanical breakdown? Does digestion? Yes. So all of these. Good. Okay. Now we're talking about the stomach still and the production of gastric juice. What's the pH of gastric juice? Extremely acidic, like pH 2. Which nutrient is digested in the stomach? Proteins. What's the name of the specific enzyme that digests proteins in the stomach? Protease is a generic term for all of the enzymes that break down proteins. pepsin. How is the acidic nature of the gastric juice related to the digestion of proteins? First of all, what does an acidic environment do to proteins? It denatures them. Exactly. So if you have a protein like that in its three-dimensional structure, say you eat a piece of meat that's not been fully cooked, the acidic environment is going to unravel it into its primary structures, string of amino acids. And what's the second reason that acidic environment is important for the digestion of proteins? So pepsin's the enzyme that's going to break down proteins, but it's not released as pepsin. It's released as a precursor molecule called pepsinogen, and in an acidic environment, that gets converted to pepsin. You guys all did a good job with this. Draw a visual representation of what's going on in the mixing bowl area, the duodenum with acidic chyme coming in, bile from the bile duct and liver, pancreatic juice from the pancreas. Which digestive enzymes are present in pancreatic juice? All of them. All of them. Where in the small intestine does most digestion and absorption occur? The duodenum, jejunum, or ileum? Jejunum. The purpose of bile is to emulsify fats. What does that mean? If that's a fat droplet, what does emulsify mean? Break it down into smaller droplets. And why is that? Why is that something that's beneficial?
It gives them more, it's easier to consume it.
It provides more surface area for the lipases, the enzymes that are going to break down triglycerides, to work. So these lipases can come on board and start breaking these down. It has a lot more surface area to do so. Which organ is the first to receive monosaccharides and other nutrients following absorption in the small intestine? The liver. And what blood vessel takes it there? The whole thing is called the hepatic portal system. So I would take that, or also the hepatic portal vein. Does anybody know what a portal system is? It's where you have two capillary beds in a row. Normally it goes arteries to capillaries to veins. A portal system is when you have arteries, capillary bed, another capillary bed, and then it goes to the venous system. We're going to talk about one today. Exactly. What are the major products absorbed in the large intestine? What about water? Yes. What about nutrients like amino acids and carbohydrates? Not so much. That's all done at the small intestine. What about electrolytes? Yeah, and you mean electrolytes. And what about B vitamins? Yeah, where are a lot of these B vitamins? How are a lot of these B vitamins produced or made? Well, the microbes. The gut microbiome is responsible for making a lot of B vitamins. Okay. What's going on here within the hostra? Well, basically that indigestible material is moving back and forth within the hostra. It's rolling against the wall. And what's that doing? It's allowing water to be absorbed, and it's compacting it down into a semi-solid mass prepared for elimination from the body. And I always like reading the answer to this question. What digestive system organ most closely fits your personality and why? There were some humorous ones in there. There always are, but that was all good.